What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and today I want to talk about mindset because life is all about your mindset. And I got a perfect example, right? I know you've all heard of those examples, of the billionaires that, wind up doing, tons of bad stuff. They are unfaithful to, their wives. They're, doing lots of drugs. They're, doing bad stuff, right? And a lot of times, the reason that people like that do those things is because they're just deep down, they're unhappy. They lack purpose. They lack a mission in life, right? They feel like they've achieved everything they need to achieve because they have all this money and, the world is just their playground, right? And if you want to live your life that way, whatever. If you're not hurting anyone else, I always say, if you're not hurting other people, by all means, do what you want to do, right? But personally, where this, topic of mindset comes from is you could be the poorest man in the world. You could be the poorest man or woman, right, in the world. And by believing that your life is valuable, your life is good, you have things to be grateful for, you have purpose, your life is going to be an insane amount better than some billionaire that's constantly chasing the next thing, the next accomplishment, the next goal, right? Like, it's just, when you have the right mindset in life, that's more valuable than any amount of dollars you can get your hands on, right? Because if you think about it, the way we walk through life, the way we perceive life, the way we perceive other people, things, everything, it's based on how you're viewing it, right? It's all about your perspective, which comes from your mindset. Like, you have to think about things in a certain way. And I think a lot of people are stuck in a mindset that is very defensive and very survivalist, which is, instinctual for most people. But a lot of people just aren't, they're not focused on improving their mindset. They've just grown accustomed to thinking a certain way and they don't try to change it. But if your mindset, if you constantly wake up and you feel depressed, you feel upset, you feel sad, reworking your mindset is a very valuable tool, right? And I encourage people, if you're having trouble, working through how to kind of change your perspective and your mindset, talk to a therapist, right? There's no shame in talking to a therapist. They're there to help you. And it allows you to just kind of talk with someone, confidentially and, test out different methods of thinking to see, how am I going to really live my best life? You need to adjust your thinking sometimes to do that. And there's no shame in that at all. So I know there's a lot of people that are scared of going to therapy. There's a lot of people that don't want to go to therapy. They're afraid it's going to cost a lot. I can understand that too. A lot of medical services do cost a lot, counseling included. But life is all about mindset. And I'm telling you, if you guys spend $20 for a therapy session, a couple times, right? Like, you're really going to be able to work with somebody to get your mindset right. And maybe you don't need therapy, right? Maybe you can do it on your own. Maybe you have a friend or a sibling or a parent that can help you, and you can also do it by yourself, right? But I always encourage people, it's good to be open with other people. It's good to be honest. In reality, if you're not doing anything wrong, you really don't have stuff to hide, right? Like, if someone disagrees with your opinion, that's fine. Like, the people are meant to think differently. We're not all meant to think the same, right? If we were all meant to think the same, I don't think the world would really operate the way it does, right? And I think it would operate in a worse way, right? I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on how the world operates now. It's not in the best state it's ever been, yada, yada, whatever. But I think the fact that we all think differently from one another is a good thing. I think we have a lot of people that follow and not too many people that lead. And sometimes the people that lead turn out to be not so great people or not so great influences. But back to the topic of mindset. I'm trying to think of a good example to give you guys, but like I talked about this in one of my previous videos. Like, when I was with my ex-girlfriend, I wasn't really the best version of myself. I didn't really think for myself a lot. And that had a lot to do with my mindset. I was very focused on my girlfriend and making her happy, and I wasn't worried about myself. I wasn't worried about my family. I wasn't worried about other important things in my life. And that really affected my mindset. The reason I detached from all of those things that were important to me at first is because my mindset changed, because there was a change in my life where I was now focusing on this person instead of myself and all of the things that I cared about before then. And that's just one example, right? So getting out of that relationship, it took me a while to reset my mind, and kind of look at things in a better way. And I look at things in a way better way now than I did even before I was in that relationship. And it just goes to show, sometimes you have to go through different things, and that affects the way that you're going to think about stuff. So putting yourself out there and experiencing things, trying new things, and learning from your mistakes are all going to help you form a much better mindset as you move forward. And it's always okay to change up the way you think. You should never be ashamed that you're changing something in your life. If it's for the better, you should be proud of that decision. You shouldn't feel bad because you're going back on something you said way back when, right? I used to be very definitive in my language, saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it needs to be. And then, 2 years later, I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't have said that. But I had so much pride that I was like, oh, I can't let anyone know that I changed my mind, right? But that doesn't really matter. You got to do what's best for yourself. And by having a good mindset, you're going to just open so many doors, right? Having a closed mind is not a good thing. You're going to be turned off to a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different people, and that can really limit you in life. If you're more of an open mindset type of person, you're going to have a lot more opportunities come your way. You're going to learn about a lot more stuff, and it's going to further help you develop your mindset and kind of go through life in a good way. Right. But everything is a mindset thing, right? You can be happy or depressed, all depending on your mindset. You can be the same person living the same life, and, depending on which way you think, you might be super happy, you might be really sad. You know what I mean? So it's all in your hands to change your life and change the way that you do things. And that starts with how you think about them. So if you guys are out there and you're not really enjoying, your life right now, you're not really going through life the way you want to, change up your mindset. Think about things differently. Just, sit there and, maybe write down in your journal or, on a piece of paper or whatever, just think about your thoughts and why are you thinking that way? Why do you do certain things a certain way, right? And if you can trace back why you do those things, you might have a better ability to identify, are these things that are helping me, or are these just defense mechanisms that I've had in my mindset for a long time? And should I try to, get rid of them and implement new things, right? And then a lot of times, that's how it's going to be, right? I've certainly done that exercise a lot, and, it's good to do it, every couple of weeks, every couple of months, whenever you have some free time, just because it can really be super valuable to you. And that's really it, man. It's just, I can't say enough how important your mindset is. Because you can go through life being, like I said, a closed-minded person. You can go through life being a mean person, a hurtful person. You can do all that stuff because of a way that you think, because, maybe way back when you got bullied and, from that day forward, you thought, okay, well, no one cares about me, so I'm not going to care about anyone else, right? You're making a generalization about an experience you had when you were younger, being bullied by one person, two people, whatever, and you're extending that to all types of people. You have to have an open mind and assume that, not everyone in the world is the same. You're going to eventually find people that you mesh with and people that make you feel good as a person, and you're going to do the same thing for them, right? So it's all about the way you think about things. It's all about how you, walk through life and how you greet certain opportunities, certain people, things like that. So if you're having trouble right now and you're not really vibing with how your life's going, you're not really happy, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling down, grab a piece of paper, think about why you feel a certain type of way, and think about how you can change your mindset to go through life and, welcome more happiness, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone just wants to be happy. So that's pretty much it, guys. I was just on a little kick tonight trying to tell you guys, you gotta change your mindset up. I've been going through some stuff lately, trying to really, lock in and focus on how I can, get through some of the challenges I'm going through, some of the, hard people that I'm dealing with, things like that. And again, I came back to the same thing. It's all about your mindset. You just gotta, gear up your mind to deal with the situation at hand and, understand that, this might be an obstacle in your way, but you're going to overcome it and you're going to be stronger for it, right? That's the proper way to look at things, as opposed to saying, oh, well, this is hard and I always have to deal with hard stuff and yada, yada, whatever. No one else is going to play you for a victim, so don't play yourself for a victim, right? Just take things in stride, take it on the chin, and just know whatever you're going through, you're going to get stronger for, or you're going to get stronger for going through it, right? That's the proper mindset. That's going to be a healthier mindset for you to adapt to. And you're just going to be happier in life if you do it that way. That's just my perspective, but I encourage you guys to try it out and see where it goes from there. You might be super happy with the decision you make, right? So that's it though, guys. I'll catch you later. Stay safe, handle business, stand on business, and review your mindset. Change that stuff up if you need to. Catch you guys later, man. Peace.